What else would we expect from our table topper clash than an absolute super over thriller? Wasn't the Vipers on fire tonight? It was right down to the wire. Sammy Curran dominating with the bat, had a lifeline, then Dan Lawrence seeing them clearly, not just in the innings but also in that super over. It was also Naseem Shah, that critical wicket for the Vipers in the super over too. Very happy skipper, very happy side all round. Let's take a look at the match summary for today. The Giants had a bat first. They posted 179 on the table, but it was the Vipers that fought back, tie. So we went to a super over. It wasn't that action-packed. They needed 16, and it was just an absolute thriller. All right, the leaderboard is up right now. This means that the Golf Giants have moved down to second spot after tonight's loss, and the Vipers are right up on the top of the table. Hello everyone, welcome to our post-match show. Joining me this evening is none other than Darren Ganger, Alan Wilkins and James Foster. You're the head coach of the Vipers. Stressed, you must be.
I don't know, stressed, but it was a topsy-turvy game. I mean, just chatting to Jonathan Trott there after the game, I know very well, and it was loads of ebbs and flows in that game. Some really good cricket from both sides, some questionable cricket from both sides as well, but obviously naturally delighted that we got over the line. You always want to play the perfect game, and today wasn't that, but equally I thought we showed a huge amount of character, so delighted with the character showing, especially having to go at 12s for the majority of that innings. So really pleased with Daniel Lawrence in particular, playing sort of like a newish role for him, albeit he's got loads of ability. Delighted for him, and then a tie, then it goes into the super over. It was an interesting game of cricket.
How do you keep the side calm when it does go into a super over, high pressure game for you?
Yeah, I mean, super overs aren't that frequent actually, so I think it's just trying to be very calm. Funny enough, I was listening to Southgate, the England football manager, talk today about how he manages on a podcast how he manages penalty shootouts and trying to keep things as short and as simple as possible, keep the messaging as simple as possible. But we were discussing options with regards what side they're going to potentially bowl from. Do we want left-handers, two right-handers? But obviously we didn't know what side they were going to bowl from. So you want to target the short boundary, and then it's a matter of who's in form. Who's feeling in good touch, who's confident, and then so we just went with what we felt was right. We went left-right because we weren't totally sure who was going to bowl from which end. And again, a really important six from Daniel Lawrence there coming in, and then I thought Naseem Shah was superb with the ball when it got to our turn in that power play. In that super over.
Wilco,
yeah.
Did you see this game panning out like that?
Well, I had the Vipers to win it, so yes. No, I didn't. I thought I was watching the last 5-6 overs with Darren, and I didn't think you're going to get there. Darren said, "You back them, watch them." And the thing is that the cricket you're playing, and you pulled it out of the bag in Sharjah, you pulled it out of the bag here, and you're not quite at your best yet, are you? Is that a good sign then?
I don't think it's a bad sign. I really don't, because it creates a lot of belief in the change room that we're still not firing totally, but we're still putting some good performance, if not the total performance, the complete performance. So various people are contributing in different stages. Even tonight with Hassan Nawaz having a little impact there at the end, hitting a couple of boundaries, that huge six. He's a really exciting player for us. He hasn't quite got going yet, but pure trust and the belief in the way that he goes about his business. Lovely field as well, contributes to the group. So getting over the line is ultimately the most important thing. Is the long or the short of it. Yes, haven't played the perfect game, but we're getting the job done.
Darren, were you surprised that Naseem bowled that super over? He didn't take a wicket in today's game.
No, I wasn't surprised. I looked at his economy in the tournament before the start of this game. He was going about 7.2. I know that he is someone that has express pace, and at times the conditions here doesn't really require that type of quality. So it was about him adapting as a bowler, and I think he did that quite well to the back end of the innings after the Gulf Giants had a very good start. But for him to come and kind of control things in the super over, hold his composure as a bowler, handle the pressure in this situation. Of course, he has international experience playing for Pakistan, but the execution to when you're in a pressure cooker situation, you have to give a player credit, and he deserves all the credit in this situation. Remember, no one would have expected this game boiling down to a super over. So in a short space of time, he had to turn himself around and get himself into that mindset to bowl this over. The other thing I think this outcome has shown is, one, the narrow margin between these two sides, and two, I think I now recognize the depth in the batting of the Vipers. You spoke of some of those players, Kuzaima, Nawaz. You're now seeing how deep you guys bat, and what I love about it is the attitude. You lost your both openers in quick time, but the attitude and the belief throughout the course of the chase to get to 179 and then to finish the job off, batting first, getting to 13, that to me is a tremendous quality if you're looking to win a championship.
Yeah, I think that partnership with Dan and Sam, bearing in mind we had only gone at sixes in the power play, and we felt the power play is going to be a huge moment within the game. We thought if we can get ahead of the game, that would really help us, and it wasn't the case. But sometimes this day and age, those sort of long partnerships, I would say, don't always happen. So I thought they showed a huge amount of character, and Dan then be able to put his foot down, and he's got power to burn as well. So, and as you said there, Kazemi, you know, he had an unbelievable innings the other night, came in with a huge six tonight, and I think that, you know, that's a huge boundary which he cleared easily.
Up there, wasn't it?
And also Hetty, you know, contributing the other night, still had an impact today. So, you know, there is confidence within our side, which is, you know, as we all know, confidence is absolutely key.
Well, James, thank you so much for joining us. We don't want to take too much of your time. Good luck for tomorrow's game. Hopefully it's not down to the wire like the last two have been for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
James. Good luck there.
Thank you.
Okay, boys, we've got to unpack. Dan Lawrence, what a star. He really pulled it out when his team needed him to.
Well, you know, I'll pick up what James said about him there. He's learning a new role. Look, there's Tom Moody here. Look, I'm just going to see Tom Moody, who's the director of cricket.
Look at him. He's looking away on purpose. Tom, come back.
Tom would have given us a card.
Donuts. Absolute donuts. He can still hear us.
We'll get him. We'll get him. But what Tom Moody has done, and what they've done with Dan Lawrence, is they've asked him to adapt, because he started life as a red ball cricketer. He is still a red ball cricketer. He's played test cricket for England. He's playing white ball cricket now. And the way he has changed his own game to adapt for this, we talk about precision and adaptability. We talk about that in this game, and that's what he's done. I mean, he changed this game. That's why he's the player of the match. I was with Gracie, I was watching with Darren there every ball, and while he was in, look at the way he adapts here with these different strokes, the choice of strokes for each ball, Darren.
Indeed, and I think it's more instinctive type batting, a recognition of the situation of the match, and the fact that he had to show that intent to score a boundary off every single ball, and his fierce focus was on show. Very different to what we saw from a guy like Gurbaz early in the innings. He was just reacting to the ball. And the very best finishers and power players in the game will tell you it's not about overthinking in this situation, it's about reacting to the ball. And I got a sense that he was doing exactly that. He did mention in that interview with you, Alan, that he knew that there was a point in time in that partnership with Sam Curran where he had to strike boundaries. And he switched into that mode, and it came off. So all credit to him and the way he played.
Which immediately, Grace, tells you that Dan Lawrence is thinking. I don't think Ramanolo Gurbaz was thinking tonight. Look, he's a heck of a player. Don't get me wrong. We have seen Gurbaz on the global stage, and he'll have better nights than tonight. But, you know, he struggled. But I love the way, the method that we saw from Dan Lawrence tonight. Great, really good.
Really nice partnership.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Well, 14 was required off the last over this evening, but there was drama galore. Wilco, can you unpack it for us? Because it was hectic energy.
I'm not sure I can, but I mean, you know, this. Are we in the soup? No, we're not. I mean, this was Khuzaima. This was Kwazema with that monstrous 6, which is why he won the DP Dispatch of the day. But it was, and then, of course, you had, well, it was just, then we had the mistake by Tom Moores, the keeper, which the buys. So this match had everything. I think you said, Darren, watching, what has this match not had? So it did, and that's when we went to the super over, because they only managed the 2. So in a way, as Sam Curran looks browbeaten there, in a way, it was a match that deserved to go to a super over. It really did. And, you know, young Naseem Shah kept his cool. I think he kept his cool. I should have asked maybe, or we should have asked James, why didn't Nishanka come out to bat? Must have been injured, because surely he would have been batting there tonight, you know, in the super over. Nishanka, don't you think, Darren?
Yeah, but that's for golf giants, so Jonathan Trott would have probably told us
getting
that,
confused there.
Thing. But we knew that he got some therapy on his leg. Maybe there's a hamstring strain. Hopefully that doesn't linger for too long, because he's the in-form batter for the Giants, 3 consecutive half-centuries. But I think this game is deserving of being that very first super over in this magnificent DP World ILT20. I'll remember this game for a long time, for so many different reasons.
I think we all will.
And do you know what the disgrace? It's like you doing this job now. You've got to keep calm, because you've got us who will talk a lot.
You guys are the calmest of the lot.
You have to keep calm, which is what Sam Curran did as captain, which is what Dan Lawrence did as captain, and excuse me, and Naseem Shah did with the ball. And this game, he's been a captain of West Indies, and it's here as much as anywhere. It's here, and you have to keep your calm and keep your cool, and then you get through the tough periods, right, Skipper?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Skipper agrees?
Yeah, that's only half of the equation. The execution is the other half.
Yeah, but if you're calm, it helps you execute, doesn't
indeed.
it? You know, if you're a bit sort of fuzzled and you're you know, then that also goes through to. I mean, it's a pity Tom Moody didn't turn his back on us, because he is one of the calmest men, one of the calmest leaders, which is why he's a very he's a sought-after person. He's joined the RPSG as the global head of cricket. He's calm, and that calmness goes all the way through the DNA of this Vipers team. They're not playing great cricket. They're not at their best. James said that, and when they do, they could be unplayable.
Look out.
Yeah, look out. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think that golf giants went wrong with not staying calm? Because we saw that they missed a couple of really great chances.
Darren?
I think, I mean, generally speaking, you look at their catching efficiency, it was very good. Maybe some missed moments in the game. They didn't take that review. Again, that front foot no ball from Adair just overstepping, that would have been a critical wicket, the wicket of Sam Curran. He got a reprieve on that occasion, and we know the partnership that he stitched together with Dan Lawrence really brought the Vipers back in the game. But generally speaking, I think Moeen Ali will be happy with this effort. Yes, he got very close, didn't cross the line, but he'll take this as an experience that they can learn from. I also feel you look at how they've gone about their batting. They will have to focus a little bit more on their last 5. If you look at the last game they played, they only scored 30 runs. And in this match, I think they scored over 40 in the last 5. So that will be an area that they will discuss. They will want to have more production of runs, because after getting such a good start from their openers and batting solidly through the middle, you don't want to give up that initiative and not finish the innings, because 10, 15 runs more, that's an unassailable position they could have found themselves in at the halfway stage of this game.
So we don't know yet, Grace, you know, to pick up your question, we don't know yet how injured Nishanka is. He has given the Giants a calmness because of the way he's batted. He's been irrepressible. He's been wonderful.
So exciting, right?
Yeah, well, he's
Electric.
Exciting in a very controlled way.
Yeah.
Because he is as still as What's still? Tell me what is still. As still as a statue. Look at him until he pulls the trigger, and it's beautiful to watch. And this calmness filters through to the dugout because they've relied on him, his presence, and his runs at the top of the order. And it'll be interesting to see whether the Giants, because he's the smallest man in the team, and yet he's got the biggest footprint.
And 3 50-plus scores for him this tournament so far. He's only played 3 games and he's got 3 50s. That's nice to have in your bank.
Yeah, and it's his first DP World ILT20. So again, just reinforcing his class as a Sri Lankan international. His status in T20 cricket internationally has grown immensely from 2024 onwards. He's striking at close to 180. So it's just a continuation of the form that we've seen from him. And I'm sure all of Sri Lanka and those who follow world cricket will know that he has been one of their best batters in ODI cricket, in T20 cricket. And he's just transferring that form here to this franchise. Hopefully he'll be able to sustain for the rest of the season. But again, it's early days in this tournament, so you really want to see how teams adapt as they go ahead, because pitches might get a little bit slower. You might see spin coming more into the fray in terms of being potent as a style of bowling. So batters now will have to move away from the ease of scoring off seam to the challenge of a turning surface and a slower sort of pace bowling opposition.
Gobaz, he's been a little bit of a problem area for the Giants. I mean, he scored some runs today, 42, but, you know, what's he really need to start to work on and focus on throughout the tournament?
Well, I think he tried too hard today. I've been watching him, we've been watching him on the global stage for Afghanistan for years. He is one of the really top players. Today, he tried too hard. You know, if you can try and hit a golf ball too hard, and the coach will tell you, swing easier, the ball, let the technique hit the ball. He was trying to hit the thing into Abu Dhabi from here tonight, you know, so, and he was missing by such a margin. So what has he got to work on? I think they've got to say to him, sit down, have a look at how you batted tonight, don't bat like, yeah, well, there we are, that's it. There we are. Maybe stand like that, you know. But I think he's got all the talent. Darren, you've seen him bat. We've seen him in World Cups. We've seen him with Afghanistan. He's the real deal. But I'll tell you something. As a wicket keeper, he's got the best throwing arm in the team.
What about his catching skills, too?
Well,
without the gloves. He took a brilliant catch, couple of catches to get his team to a tie.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know, 41 runs, that's his highest score this season. So he'll take that as a positive, and hopefully he'll find that equilibrium, because as Alan said, to me, he was trying too hard, and he had a real nice example on the other end to follow. You saw Patun Nissanka just being so still, calm, measured.
The contrast between the two, right?
So all he had to do was to watch his partner and try to emulate what was happening from the other end.
And you have a look at, say, Liam Livingstone with the Knight Riders. Have a look at the way that Liam's batting. You know, it's lovely bat swing. It's a lovely tempo to his. This was rushed. Gurbaz was rushed tonight, and that's not him. He is just the sweetest timer of the cricket ball. And, you know, the Afghanistan players in this tournament, they are making their presence. They're really making they're punching their weight. He's a fast. He's such a fine player. He'll come back strongly.
I want to mention Azmatullah Omarzai. 4 from 4 today, on fire, and definitely the shining fire for the Giants.
Yeah, leading wicket taker in the tournament. He added 4 to his previous 5 wickets. Again, very deceptive with his pace. I think controlled and accurate with his lines and his lengths, and skillful too with that ability to move the ball laterally. Not only is he a one-dimensional player, he's a 3D sort of player, very good in the outfield, very good as a low-order batter. So again, more will be expected from him as he grows in the international game. He will become more of a giant for Afghanistan's cricket and in world cricket.
And he wants the ball. He wants to take the ball from the captain, and that's a great sign, because sometimes in these high-pressure situations, you know what some cricketers do?
What?
They turn around. They do
a little Tom Moody action.
They do a Tom Moody. They look away, and that's when you know that cricketers don't fancy it. They want the ball and they want to do it. So they give out the right signals.
All right, well, thank you so much for your insight. Boys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back very soon. Let's take a look at our Jawal Dikal Inham Pal questions, our winners. These are you, so if your name is up there, congratulations. Now, there was 2 winners, 2 lots of winners from match number 6, and then 2 lots of winners from match number 7. Congratulations, everyone. Make sure you enter tomorrow for your chance to win as well. And tonight's winners will be announced tomorrow night. Exciting prizes coming your way, guys. Alrighty, tomorrow's game. We've wrapped up tonight's game. Tomorrow's game, my Emirates are taking on the Desert Vipers. We've just seen the Vipers. They've absolutely dominated tonight and they haven't lost a game. But my Emirates, they won their first game, last game, lost their first. So pressure is on, but I reckon they'll be able to do it. Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe. What do you think? I'm giving positive vibes to them.
Well, to be honest, it's the first game in Abu Dhabi, so it will be new conditions. Both teams will have to adjust and adapt and see what the conditions offer. Usually it's a very good batting service. If you look at what transpired last season, it was a high-scoring venue, so should have a lot of runs. Bowlers might be under the pump, so we might get a thriller, a high-scoring thriller. We look forward to that, Alan.
Prediction?
Vipers. Look, they're on a roll now. They're winning ugly. James said it, and I don't think they've been at their very best, but they're scrambling. Somehow they're getting wins. I think they're too strong for Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, and if there are any Abu Dhabi Knight Rider fans watching, I'm entitled to my opinion. Do you know that Knight Riders in this tournament have only won 10 matches throughout the...
Really?
It's my Emirates, eh? So my Emirates will take on tomorrow.
Yeah, it's my Emirates. See, I've been working too hard. So it's my Emirates. I'm still going with the
Romario
Vipers.
Shepherd coming your way. He's a West Indian.
Romario
Yes.
Pollard
Shepherd
coming your way. He's West Indian.
Vipers.
Nicholas Pooran coming your way. He's West Indian.
Watch the Vipers. They're going there. No, the Vipers, yeah. The fangs are out. You watch them. The Vipers, they'll have a good night's sleep. They'll take the coach down that motorway tomorrow and they'll be winning. The Vipers.
Right, so you're Vipers.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
you're...
My Emirates, of course. Romario Shepherd, I repeat.
Yeah.
What about Romario Shepherd? Your thoughts on him, Alan?
He's a fabulous cricketer.
Okay.
Fabulous cricketer, and he could be the difference between the two sides, but not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
No, honestly, I think the Vipers. I think they'll learn from this tonight. I think they've just got it. They're in the winning form. They're the unbeaten team, and they'll be unbeaten tomorrow night.
Righto, well, the Vipers have won this evening, but pressure's on. Can they do it against my Emirates tomorrow night in Abu Dhabi? We will see very soon. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.